On a cloudy and cold Thursday morning, welcome on into the Animal House. I'm Adam the Bull. He's Dustin Fox. We do not have Keith Britton on the other side of the glass. We do not have Dave Spano on the board, but we do have Z and Max. And you're starting a trend here, Dustin. I don't know if I should have asked this before the show. That would have been appropriate.
What's that?
I don't know if we can put Max on camera, if that's possible, guys. If we can.
Is he rocking the stash too?
He's now rocking the stash. Now, I don't think he did it on purpose. He apparently screwed up his shave. Oh, we can't put him on camera. All right, maybe we'll take a picture of Max and because you're starting a trend here of mustaches.
Can we get some audio from him? Can we put him on for a second to hear him or no?
No, I don't think we can. But
no worries.
We will have to take a picture or something. I might have to do it. I mean, I grow. I shave in the morning,
Adam,
and I'm hairy by the afternoon.
I got it. So I got to tell you.
Yeah.
I did not tell you this, but the other day.
Yeah.
I think it was it Steve Becker that I don't want to give away your. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you what I changed to your.
The picture of me with the mustache from.
I don't know why. Now I'm FaceTiming you on accident. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Sorry about that. I was trying to show you the.
Yeah, there was one day where I went on. I shaved and I went with a mustache on UCSS. It must have been a day we weren't doing a podcast because I don't think the guys here saw the but it's a.
So,
I mean,
if you can see this, I'm gonna zoom in.
Yeah, that was me with a mustache. I mean, I look creepy. I mean, I was purposely making a funny look, obviously, but but I might have to do it. I mean, you're a trendsetter, my friend. So I think we might. Z apparently, Z's like Ken Carmen. I know Z doesn't know Ken Carmen, but most of our audience does. Z is like Ken Carmen, so he can't grow any facial hair. Like,
okay.
He's got the baby
Lima
face.
can't grow facial hair either, by the way.
Which is weird because he's Italian. Usually Italian guys have no problem growing facial hair. That's a strange one.
People at the Fan can grow facial hair, except Nick Wilson, myself, and you.
Yeah, that's true, but we're gone.
Maybe the midday guys could, but they never do.
Nah.
Ken can't, Lima can't.
No.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Jake
well,
Bowman can, though.
We got guys that can, so I think it's got something that's going to take over, and maybe it's something. Maybe the new Browns quarterback. How about that smooth transition? Will be able to grow a mustache too, and can join the club, and we'll have that connection with whoever it is. Obviously, now 2 weeks to go. We're down to the final 2 weeks. The speculation has run rampant with what the Browns are going to do, both with the second pick and the 33rd pick. And they relate to each other, certainly, because the Browns have had private workouts with now five quarterbacks, maybe six. They've had private workouts with Cam Ward, with Shedeur Sanders, with Jackson Dart, with Tyler Shuck, and with Jalen Milroe. Am I forgetting anybody? No, I think that's it. I think those are the five guys.
I mean, those are all the guys that we discuss on any of the shows. So
yes.
Basically any quarterback in the top, whatever, they've been in and they've had these private workouts. They've had these sessions where they've been able to put these guys on the board. They spend a lot of time. They're doing their due diligence on these guys because they know they can't get it wrong. And
that's right.
And this is a big decision. And that's why pick number two, I'm saying, is so vital. And if they don't take a quarterback there, they've got to select the right player for the team. And then you still have to most likely take a quarterback with your next pick, whether it be trading into the first round or with the second round pick, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be shocked if the Browns don't draft a quarterback by 33 the latest. I will be maybe shocked is too strong, but I'll certainly be surprised. And it's not just the due diligence, it's just the obvious need. Even if you don't feel like Shedeur Sanders is that Travis Hunter is just too talented, you can't pass him up, because you're not sure Shedeur Sanders has enough upside. Even if that's the case, you have to take a shot at 33 or late in the first round if you feel like that's necessary. A guy you think is better than the other guys you're considering at that point, because to not take a shot at all by the second round when you really have nothing at the position. I mean, they got Kenny Pickett. That's it. Would be just crazy to me. So I'll be very surprised. I won't be very surprised if they don't take a quarterback at 2, but if they don't take a quarterback by 33, I'll be very surprised. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, no, I feel very strongly about that. If they don't take a quarterback at 33, then you're definitely just playing this season with a veteran, hoping that next year there's better players that you can get at the quarterback position. But I'd be stunned. They know how important it is, and you got to keep swinging the axe at them no matter what. You don't know, just because you think this guy may not have certain upside, you get him in the building and he becomes a Brock Purdy. I'm not
Right.
saying that he's going to be a 6th-round pick or a Tom Brady like late round pick turns into some great player, but there's a lot of really good quarterbacks that have come out of the 2nd round or out of
Oh,
late
yeah.
1st round. A
Yeah.
lot of quarterbacks. So the Browns have to take one. Whether it's take one at 2, take one at 33. Hell,
Yeah.
take 2 quarterbacks in this draft. Take one in the 4th round if you want to, or 5th round.
Right.
Because you don't know who's going to turn out to be the guy. And we always, I think about this all the time. I go back to the RG3 Kirk Cousins thing in Washington. How can you not? And nobody, listen, if RG3 doesn't get hurt, Kirk Cousins probably never has to play and maybe never even has the career that he does. But the point is, they had him in the wings waiting.
That's right.
So
that's right. And forget, we'll just ignore Cam Ward because he's very likely going 1.
Yeah, he's not coming to Cleveland.
Right. So the other 4 guys, and again, I'm not an NFL GM. I don't pretend to be. But, well, I guess I do sometimes when it comes to free agency. But when it comes to the draft, I know my limitations in terms of being able to analyze a quarterback and how that's going to translate to the NFL. But I would say that there's enough that intrigues me about all 4 of these guys, Shador, Dart, Milroe, and Shuck. Like, there's enough. I don't look at any of those guys and say, no chance that guy's good, right? Like, there's something about all 4 of them that, like, Jackson Dart and Shuck, traditional in terms of their size, in terms of their style of play. Obviously, both good athletes, too, but more traditional players because of their size and their, things they're good at. Dart put up pretty impressive numbers in college. Shuck, with the injuries makes you nervous, and he's older, and then Milroe, like, he's a guy who he might turn out to be the next surprise star in the league, or he could be out of the league in a few years. Who knows? There's so much variety there, but there's enough intrigue. And then Shador Sanders is the most fascinating of them all, because he clearly is through the roof on intangibles. And the question is, are the tangibles good enough? Like, is the arm strength good enough to say, well, the intangibles are through the roof. This guy's not going to feel the pressure. This guy, as a leader, he's, but is that enough to overcome the perceived tangibles, like the lack of arm strength, like maybe not elite athletic ability and things like that? So I find all 4 guys fascinating. And ultimately, when it's all said and done, if the Browns take one of them at 2 or take Travis Hunter and one of them at 33, even though I'm always like, take the quarterback. But I'm not going to be mad at the Browns if they take Travis Hunter and then draft a quarterback somewhere between, 15 and 33. I'd be okay with
that. I'd be fine with it too, because Hunter gives you another weapon to go with Judy.
Yeah.
So even if you drafted Shador at 2, like, he's only going to have really one wide receiver weapon you feel strongly about,
right,
in Jerry Jeudy, and then a tight end in David Njoku, who is a veteran, but it's in his last year. So, I mean, it would be great for whoever that quarterback is to have somebody else with an elite skill set, and Travis Hunter has a skill set like no other player in this draft.
Yeah, and just the, and we were talking the other day about, what if they took a running back in the 3rd round, like a really athletic running back? I mean, most running backs are athletic, but I'm talking like super elite athlete, and there are some at the running back position, that it would be pretty cool if they were able to do something like that and go from a team that's been perennially not athletic to a team that was extremely athletic. And Travis Hunter is such a unique and special player that I get it. As much as I want a quarterback on this team, he's a hard guy to say no to. I mean, you have a chance to get a guy who could be, and you see right there, we just put up the graphic. Abdul Carter had been the overwhelming favorite to go to the Browns. For whatever it's worth, here at Bet Rivers, we have Travis Hunter now at minus 250 to be the pick. Now, again, new information that could change in a hurry. But right now, at Travis Hunter is the overwhelming favorite to be the second pick in the draft. And man, if that guy, if you use him correctly, if we have the right coaching staff for that to use him, I can't remember the name of the guy we had on yesterday on UCSS, at Konigsberg. I forgot his first name. He covers.
Kevin?
Was it Kevin? No, I don't think it was Kevin.
I don't remember.
Ryan.
RJ?
Ryan.
Ryan. Yeah.
Ryan Konigsberg.
We got there finally.
Yeah, we got there.
An R.
From Colorado, like
yeah,
his suggest. I actually thought it was a pretty interesting suggestion. Like, use Travis Hunter as a wide receiver, and then as your, third down corner essentially. And man, throw him into special teams a little bit. The guy wants to do it. Let's find out. We throw around this term unicorn in sports now all the time. It gets overused, but in his case, it's real. And if he wants to do it, I think we have to have a coaching staff that's open-minded enough to say, this guy is one of one. Let's see if he can do this. Let's see.
I mean, I personally think that he could do it for the first couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like play a lot,
Yeah. He's young.
But the second you see signs of him laboring, fatigue. I mean, we have all the technology now, Adam. It's different than when I played. I mean, Chris Gamble, back when I was at Ohio State, was a two-way player my sophomore and junior year.
Right.
Where he played 120, 130 snaps a game. But this is before we had GPS technology to measure these players and know when they are about to fatigue and start to pull muscles and get hurt. Like, we can use the technology to protect the player. And so you can then know how far you can push him.
That's right.
And I think that's something that will definitely change the way you look at the usage of a player like a Travis Hunter at the next level. And I think it certainly could be innovative enough to maybe change the game.
I know, obviously it's a different sport especially from a physical standpoint, but imagine if when Ohtani was coming over here, every team had said one or the other. You got to pitch or you got to hit. Well, what a shame that would have been.
No
and
kidding.
As fans, we've been able to see one of the most amazing things in the history of baseball. To me, the most amazing thing. I think when he retires, he's probably the best player in the history of the game because we've never seen anything like it. And obviously, Travis Hunter's got to prove he could be great at both in the NFL to be in any kind of conversation like that, and we're a long way from that. But sports is entertainment. I get it. Teams want to win, and you want to manage assets and all that stuff. And certainly, you're right. If after a couple of years he's showing wear and tear and he's missing games, okay, then you hey, let's just stick with wide receiver or whatever. What if he's much better at corner? I don't know. Whatever. But for now, let's see it. Let's see if this guy can do really what nobody's ever done in the modern history of this sport. Because everybody would want to see it. He'd be one of the biggest stories, if not the biggest story in the entire league. And when have we seen that from a non-quarterback?
The more and more I think about this,
yeah,
it becomes apparent that I think they're going to take Hunter. What do you think?
I mean,
and then here's why. Why. Because there's a little part of me in the back of my mind that knows how much Jimmy Haslam wants his team to be sexy.
100%, yes.
You know what I mean? And like Shador or any of these other quarterbacks could be.
Yes.
But they're not walking through the door and stepping on the field and being the best player right now. And I think Travis Hunter has the ability to do that. Like, there will be defensive backs and defensive coordinators that are up losing sleep because of this guy.
Yes.
So, from a standpoint of knowing our owner and some of the picks that they've made in the past, and it's not like, oh, we just want to sell tickets, but you want to keep the team engaged. And that when you had a mistake as big and glaring as Deshaun Watson, how quickly do you make people forget? I think Travis Hunter makes people forget at least temporarily for this offseason. It buys you time, and it lets people get excited about the future because you just signed Myles Garrett to a huge extension. So he's, you get your Hall of Famer locked up, and then you draft another kid who potentially could be a Hall of Famer and is going to put butts in the seats, and it's going to get people excited. He's going to score touchdowns. And we all know it's probably not going to be a great year, but man, there can be some moments that could be really fun with Travis Hunter on your team this year as you start to develop and build towards becoming a team that's going to compete for the playoffs in the upcoming years.
I agree with everything you said. You're right on the money. Right now, like for the past year, so fans, when you had the year when Joe Flacco came in at the end of the 23 season and took the Browns to the playoffs, our fan base was so high. Everybody was excited. Everybody kind of temporarily forgot about Deshaun Watson. Here's Joe Flacco. He gets us. He winning these games. It's fun to watch, right? How many years you and I doing radio said not only are the Browns bad, they're boring. That's what they've mostly been.
Diet vanilla.
Diet vanilla, right? And with Joe Flacco, they were fun. It was a lot of excitement, a lot of offense. Yeah, there were picks. But from the moment they lost that playoff game to Houston until really now, it's been pretty much all downhill for the Browns for the last, 15 months. They started Watson again. They let Flacco go, perceived as Watson, wanted him out. They had a miserable season. The Myles Garrett wanting to be traded, even though they signed him. He's bad-mouthing the organization. I mean, fans are we know our fans. Fans could say they're going away. We know the fans are not going away. But the fans have been in the last year or so as down on the team as you could be. You draft Travis Hunter, you said it. Even if they win 4 or 5 games again next year, he is going to create a level of excitement and interest that will carry you through a bed. Now, eventually you got to win. And you got to get the quarterback and you got to win. But he can bridge the gap till they're ready to win with excitement. And I know you're not saying this, and I'm not saying that either. I'm not saying just draft him because he's exciting. You draft him because you think he's going to be a superstar, maybe a superstar at 2 different spots. But the added bonus is that while it's going to take you time, no matter, even if they get it right with their young quarterback, it's going to take them a couple of years to get good. The Jaden Daniels and the C.J. Stroud, I know it's happened 2 years in a row. Those are extremely unique situations. And in this division, in this conference, it's going to be much harder to pull off something like that, even if they do get it right. And most likely, outside of maybe Shador, those other quarterbacks might not play right away. Who knows? Especially if they drafted Jalen Milroe. But the excitement level and the moments you're going to get from Travis Hunter, think about when the Browns had Josh Gordon. We just talked about it yesterday. They mostly sucked when he was here, but the 1 year with Brian Hoyer where they had that great start. But Josh Gordon, fans were excited to see Josh Gordon. What's Josh Gordon going to do today? Even when the rest of the team was trash. What's Josh Gordon going to do today? And even if the team stinks next year, what's Travis Hunter going to do? Could he get an interception and a 50-yard receiving touchdown in the same game? Right?
Sorry, my microphone cut off.
Oh, yeah.
1 second.
Okay.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it will be something that, to your point, it's not just going to sell jerseys because he's like a, like Odell Beckham Jr., for example, when he was here,
Right.
like people were excited about Odell because he caught the ball in warm-ups with one hand,
Right.
because he looked like this, rock star essentially.
Right.
But he was past his prime. He had injuries and all those things. It obviously didn't work out. But we're talking about a guy who's going to come in here who's going to become, I think, a household name. Already is a household name, frankly.
Yeah.
And goes out in the league and just takes the thing by storm, man. And he's, by the way, such a likable kid that the entire world is going to be talking about this guy.
It's a great point.
Damn it, I'm talking myself into Hunter at 2.
I know. Me too. I just said 2 weeks ago, got to draft Shador Sanders. Got to draft Shador Sanders. Now I'm like, you got to take Travis Hunter. I mean, how do you pass on this freaking guy? You can't. The guy's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
The guy's unbelievable. In a perfect world, again,
yeah,
they get Travis Hunter. Shador Sanders drops, and the Browns trade up to get him at like 20 or whatever. Crazier things have happened. But here's the thing, too, Dustin. You mentioned Deshaun Watson before. The Browns, for the last bunch of years, have, and I didn't care about this when it came to Watson because I've changed my mind over the years in terms of character and some of that stuff. But the Browns, for the last few years, they've gone extreme to the opposite direction. Like, it seems like they haven't cared about character at all. From Kareem Hunt to Deshaun Watson to what's his name, that defensive lineman they drafted and cut.
Oh,
Uh,
the guy from Michigan State, right? Was it
I can't think of his name. Yeah,
Malik?
I don't know, but
Was his first
they've
name?
they've had so many bad character guys, and as you said, Travis Hunter not only is an amazing player, but he is, and to be fair, you never know. What was that, Z? That's it. Good job out of you, Z. Who's a sorry,
Oh,
Z is.
Perrion
I
Winfrey.
forgot. You folks can't hear Z. So Z and Max are the producers of the podcast, and Z just said into my ear. But I'm not going to be a phony and take credit for what he said. He said it. By the way, Z, who's our producer. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but he's a big Browns fan, even though he's from Canada. He's a Canadian Browns fan. There you go.
A.
So he mentioned it was Perrion Winfrey, and that
I was
is who
thinking. I was thinking Malik McDowell.
Yeah.
Who was here for a year.
who was another guy with very questionable character. But Perrion Winfrey, they had to cut him because he was such a disaster. But Travis Hunter, and again, to be fair, you never know a player unless you really know him, so who knows? But by all accounts, Travis Hunter is 100 out of 100 in terms of character. There are zero character concerns with him. This guy's all about football. He seems like the nicest guy in the world. And the Browns need some of that because it's easier to ultimately you want to win, and fans will put up with a bad carry. Everybody if Deshaun Watson had been great, most people would have ignored the other stuff. But it does feel better when your best players are good guys. It just does.
I mean, I'm just telling you flat out right now that, like, I watch the Bills play every week.
Yeah,
because my son's a diehard fan, and
Yeah.
I'm a big fan too because I played there.
Yeah.
But to be able to root for Josh Allen is like a treat every week.
Yeah.
Because I know again. I mean, we don't really know these guys,
Sure.
but I do know a lot of people in Buffalo who know him like personally, who
Yeah.
have said that like it's the real deal.
Yeah.
And that makes me want to root for more.
100%.
We're human beings, man.
Yeah.
And it's easy to say the whole, I'm not supposed to be a role model, the Barkley line, but like these guys are. At least I don't want to root for an asshole,
right?
Or a guy I perceive to be an asshole.
That's right. And I feel the same way about Burrow. Like it's always like when Tyvis, who played with Joe, is like, oh, Joe's the best. All his teammates love him. They want to run through a wall for him. He's good. I mean, look what he did. Look what Burrow did. I mean, he said, you got to pay my guys. And the Bengals did what they never do and paid his guys. Like he cares about his teammates. When you have a leader like that, it feels good. It doesn't matter how old you are. You're getting old now. I'm 53. It still feels good. We still care about our players. It still feels good when the guys are likable.
No doubt.
05er says Hunter at 2. I predict a running back. Second, Hunter at 2. I predict a running back in round 2 or 3.
What about? I like this dude from North Carolina, Hampton. Omarion Hampton.
Tell me about him. What's the deal with him?
Nothing. I mean, I've watched him play a bunch. Dylan Sampson's a really good player out of Tennessee. No one's really talking much about. We saw him play a little bit, when they played the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be a bunch of dudes here. The one guy, the Hampton kid from Carolina, he's a big dude. He's 6 foot 220, ran 4.4, broad jumped 10.10, which is elite, vertical 38. So like this guy's an explosive athlete that is a strong guy. I mean, I like his game, man. First team all ACC.
That's the good news is you mentioned a couple guys. I mean, there's some really good running backs in this draft.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And what's his name? Here's the thing: if you want to talk about like Travis Hunter exciting the fan base, can you imagine if they draft Travis Hunter, get a quarterback late, trade up to the bottom of the second round, get a quarterback, and then drafted Cam Scattaboo?
The people
fans,
in our chat.
Fans with white running backs, they lose their minds. They love it.
Yeah, it's something about like this area of the country, like just the steel belt, blue collar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like Cleveland, Buffalo, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Youngstown, like West Virginia. It's all this kind of like tough nose mentality. And
Yeah.
obviously there's some races part of that. I mean,
Yeah.
fans love themselves a Peyton Hillis type running back, but like Scatterbo, man, I know he didn't run a fast 40 time, but
Yeah.
I don't care because the guy plays fast. He's faster on the field than most players are.
Yeah.
With pads on.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested in him. And I know one thing, man, he's a grinder. Like that kid has worked for everything. I mean, he played
Yeah.
FCS football, as did, our boy Shador
And
and our boy
that's right.
Hunter.
Yeah.
So the guys who didn't have the nicest facilities and all these
Yep.
things, and kind of had to work. And listen, Travis Hunter could have played. He was going to go to Florida State.
Yeah.
He could have played wherever he wanted,
Yeah.
but he went there for Dion and that
Yeah.
whole situation. Point being, these guys know they're not going to come to the league and be like, not stop working because they got a little bit of money in their pocket.
No doubt.
These guys are grinders.
No doubt. And also, in addition to Scatterbo, another thing that would excite the fans and would be a good pick too is either of the Ohio State backs.
Judkins or Travion Henderson.
Yeah.
Henderson's going to be gone. I mean, he's going to be a first-round pick. I don't think the Browns would take
Really?
a
You think
first-round.
he's going to be in the first round?
Everything I see.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess probably late first round, but
I mean, just looking here at this is NFL.com.
Yeah.
And they've got their rankings. They have him as the number 2 back.
Right.
And they have him going projected first round. Yeah.
Logan Zirkle in the message board says Hampton's going to go top 20. He likes Caleb Johnson a lot. I've heard Caleb Johnson mentioned a few times.
I was hoping that Hampton would fall to maybe the second round, but yeah. He's one of those top guys, certainly. Henderson's probably going to be a first-round pick.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Kevin, no. Where's this next one?
What do you think about this Lance Zierlein comparison for Henderson?
Go ahead.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, it seems reasonable, and Aaron Jones is a hell of a back. He's been, he's not an elite back, but he's in that next class, that very good back. Diesel said, give me high character guys, set a new tone. Hunter, then Milroe, then a running back. Milroe, another extremely high character guy.
I mean, honestly, if you had Milroe, Hunter, and Henderson, I mean, these guys would be going around Cleveland spreading the gospel, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd have the Bible study on fleek, as the kids used to say. But
kids don't say on fleek anymore?
I don't think so, Adam. There's so many things that they say now.
Riz?
I don't even know what that means.
I'm not sure. I think that's like charisma. If you have charisma, it's I don't know. Aaron, he doesn't really use the terms, but he knows them. Like maybe he uses them with his friends. I don't know.
My daughter, I swear to God, my daughter's 15.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's a different world, dude. Oh. I'm telling you, I feel like she speaks a different language.
Oh yeah, I don't know. When I'm coaching these little league kids, half time I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Yeah,
so many, like, so much lingo and I don't know.
But every generation had it. We all had.
Yeah, I guess I suppose so. And what's interesting now, because of all the social media, like all the kids across the country are all saying the same thing.
It spreads quicker.
It's not like it's regional. Like we said things that were different than probably you said in New York.
That's probably true. Yeah, that's true. Just like I growing up, I called it a hero, and most people call it a sub, right? Sub sandwich, but we called it a hero in New York. In Philly, I think they call it a hoagie.
A hoagie, yeah.
Right?
And Buffalo, they call it. What do they call it in Buffalo?
Is it a wedge? I don't know.
No, they weck. Well, that's beef on weck. Beef on weck. That's different. I think it's hoagie.
By the way, the dividing line. I don't know if we've discussed. We probably have the dividing line of soda and pop is between Syracuse and Rochester in upstate New York. That's the divide. Like if you grew up in Western New York, Rochester, Buffalo,
that tracks.
You say pop, but everybody from Central New York on the rest of New York says soda. It's so weird. Like, why did that become the dividing line? What happened between those two places? It's about an hour, roughly, from Syracuse to Rochester. Somewhere in one of those small towns in between is where it changed.
You know what really gets me now that I'm older?
Yeah.
Is the sneakers versus tennis shoes.
That's a bizarre one. Funny.
Because Adam, I play tennis, right? And so I actually have tennis shoes.
Yes.
And other shoes.
Yes.
So if I say tennis shoes, people just think they're just normal shoes.
Yeah.
So now it screws me.
That was the weirdest one for me when I moved here because all these other ones, I knew there was a difference. I knew it coming in. That one I didn't know because I've always said sneakers. I find myself saying tennis shoes sometimes, especially when I'm talking to someone that's from the area, which is pretty much everyone.
I'll specify. I'll say like, okay, running shoes,
Yeah.
basketball shoes, tennis
Right.
shoes,
Yeah.
casual sneakers, as opposed to some people just call every pair of, athletic shoes tennis shoes.
Yeah. Which is,
But that was like my grandparents said that growing up. My parents said that growing up. All the kids said it. I don't know. But
Right,
you
'cause-
didn't grow up around that. People didn't say tennis shoes in New York City, right?
Never.
Yeah.
I'd never heard that term before coming here. Well, probably, you talk about your grandparents' age. I mean, like at that point, my grandparents who were older than your grandparents, but my grandparents were all past. But in those days, there was no different shoes for tennis and baseball and it was all the same sneaker. So calling it tennis shoes probably wasn't a big deal because there weren't probably specific shoes for tennis.
Yeah, I mean, I would wear whatever. You know what? Gym shoes. How about that?
Gym shoes, yeah. That's
Gym
what
shoes.
somebody else suggested. Logan says gym shoes. Yeah. So, yeah, it is interesting some of the difference in different places. All right, final thing before we wrap up. A couple of quickies here. Cavaliers clinched a 1 seed 2 nights ago, and now they're gonna rest guys pretty much the rest. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell's not going to play the rest of the way, which is smart. The Pacers 9-point favorite tonight because I think everybody's sitting. All their starters are sitting in these games. I think that's smart. I believe I'm much more concerned with getting the rest versus any potential rust for me.
Yeah, you've been saying this for a while. I'm
Yeah.
cool with it. I probably won't even watch these games to be honest with you. To be completely honest, like
Yeah.
I'm more into other things.
Oh, yeah.
I'm this weekend. I'm being Columbus. I'm going to spring game Saturday,
Oh, nice.
and we got a little charity concert Saturday night at Ohio State. So I'm doing that.
Who's
dude,
performing?
Russell Dickerson, actually, who's
I don't know who that is. Is he a country guy?
star? Country star.
Oh,
yeah.
he's big?
Yes, it's like
Yeah,
a private concert that Ryan Day is sort of putting on as part of the
Cool.
it's part of the Buckeye Cruise. Like all
Oh,
the
nice.
funds from this go to the James for Cancer Research. So it's a pretty
That's
cool
awesome.
deal. Yeah.
And what was I going to say? Buckeye. Oh, are you calling any spring games for ESPN?
No, I don't think so. It's
Oh.
funny. I just called my partner Matt Schumacher yesterday, and I
Yeah.
said, Matt, because he's been doing some softball, and I'm like,
Yeah.
have you heard anything on spring football? He's like,
Yeah.
no. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. And I'm looking at most of these schools, Adam, are like canceling spring games, or they're doing glorified scrimmages,
Yeah.
glorified flag football thing, like
Yeah.
whatever. It's these teams are, because of the schedule changing in the portal and all these
Yeah.
dates, like guys aren't even on your roster right now that may play in the fall.
That's a
So
good point.
what's
Yeah,
the
it's
point of
tricky.
doing a spring game?
Right. It
Guys-
used to be
Yeah.
to give the young players the experience, but the guys are
Yeah.
changing team so much. Yeah. It's a good point. And finally, the Guardians get a victory yesterday, 3-2 over the White Sox. Some sloppy defense again, but some clutch
They
hitting.
almost blew it late. Bases loaded. What, top of the ninth?
Well, if the only Clase, who's struggling, the only reason they held on is because I think it was Mike Tauchman pulled his hamstring running home.
Yeah, that's right.
If he doesn't pull that hamstring, he's a good runner because he was on the Cubs last year, so he can run. If he doesn't pull his hamstring, that game's tied, 100%. The Guardians got lucky. I don't think I've ever seen a game end because
with a walk-off pulled hammy.
Pulled hammy, yeah, unbelievable.
And I bet you that guy's. I bet he tore it.
They might have. He was hurt
Because,
to start the season too. I don't remember what the injury was, but he just came off the injured list like a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And Guardians will try for the sweep of the White Sox today to get back to 500. All right, thanks to everybody for joining us as always. Thanks to let's bring up Zeke. We can bring up Max here for a second.
Okay, I mean, cool.
And we can see the must. Yeah, sorry guys. Well, there's the mustache.
Yeah. I gotta say, it does look good on you, Max. It looks good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm wearing Browns orange today.
That's true.
You know what's funny though,
Dustin.
dude,
I
is that
played tennis
I
Monday.
did this kind of as a like messing around.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bored. And then I got so many compliments on it, everyone keeps telling me to keep it. So I don't know what to do with it. And I'm going to a country concert this weekend, so this is I'll keep the
It
Morgan
fits.
Wallen look going.
Yeah. It fits. Max, Max, it's a good look for him. It's very rare. You guys are pulling it off. Nice job. Because I feel like most guys look it's better if you're thin. You got to really be thin. Like
you know what?
Fat guy
You're
with the
right.
mustache does not look good.
I think when I had the mustache
Yeah.
last year or the year, 2 years ago,
Yeah.
when I was like 60 pounds heavier,
Yeah.
and I had the plump turkey face. Didn't look as good.
It doesn't
I
work.
look like a child predator.
Yeah. But if you're fat, you got to have the full beard. I'll tell you what looks really bad is a fat guy with a goatee. That looks terrible.
Oh yeah.
Or I don't know why anybody does the stupid flavor saver thing here. Why would I've never seen that look good on anybody.
That just wear a sign that says I'm a douchebag.
That's it. You're right.
I mean, you might as well just throw a choker necklace on and just go back to 1998.
I mean, what is happening here? Yes. I mean, it is a high douchebag level for the flavor saver. There's no doubt about it. All right, Max, good job with the mustache. Good job producing along with Z today. We'll be back next Thursday, and we'll have plenty more next week. Draft right around the corner, 2 weeks away. We'll let you know what's going on for the draft. Go ahead.
Just a little promo, guys.
Yeah.
Your boy is talking tennis on Bet Rivers now.
That's
Mondays
right.
and Tuesdays. You can catch me on the Betting Weekly Studios shows. Tennis Live, man. We're doing it every Monday and Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Look at that.
The show's on. You can check out the show every day. Nigel and the crew are talking across the pond.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy to be a part of it with my boy Mitch Michaels. And we're trying to make you some money.
That's
cash.
right. At Bet Rivers, man, a lot of people like to bet on tennis because there's so much stuff to bet on. There's a match every 10 seconds, it seems like, in tennis.
Yeah, and if you join us for that show, it's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And we're going to literally be talking about a match that's going on live, and we're going to talk about live betting it. So we can actually have some fun and hopefully make some money.
And these guys, Dustin is, for those who don't know, I'm sure most of you know at this point, he's obsessed with tennis. He knows it inside and out. His partner's a big tennis guy. So, hey, if you're going to be betting with Bet Rivers, you might as well watch the show to get some tips.
So to my left here, if I can just show you this.
Yeah.
That's actually not a good look. But this is I got a monitor here. I'm watching 4 matches right now,
nice.
And I got another iPad over here where I'm watching. Yeah, I'm watching all the matches right now.
So, and if you haven't started betting at Bet Rivers, do it today. Get an account on the app, get it going, and get the tennis tips. Oh, you're gonna be having a ball with that. All right, folks, we'll see you all next week. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next time right here, the Bullpen, with Adam the Bull and Fox edition. See you next time with Bet Rivers. Peace.